When I found out that I was going to be the last speaker, thankfully, to you, I kind of freaked out. Tony was all over the place in my life, and all over the place in every life of every man here. And as I've learned, all over the lives of a lot of people here. So, what was I going to do in my 3 minutes to convey that complexity and those decades of knowing Tony for all of us? Because not only did we have those 38 years, oh, and by the way, Tony, our group has met for 38 years, every other week or twice a month, having dinners together and talking together. And Tony and Rob here came 2 years after that, 36 years of this. So we considered and always reminded them that they were the junior members of this group. But we weren't only in these meetings together where we talked about our lives, about politics, about sports, about everything that was important to us, and shared laughter, lots and lots of laughter. But we were also each other's friends, and we were friends with each other's families and their friends. So our lives interconnected in many, many ways that, of course, cannot be described. Tony was all over the place. He said so himself. He was what he once referred to, and then we started to notice referred to several times, deeply into lots of things. He was deeply into root vegetables. He was deeply into quinoa. He was deeply into, of course, about every food item that ever came and was served to him. He was also deeply into religious medieval history. He was deeply into political science, and he reminded us that he was an expert on that, and we should, though through our political discussions that we always had, we should bow to his political science expertise. But he was also deeply into a kid who played blues at the Freight and Salvage one night. He was deeply into, of course, dancing, astrophysics, string theory, quantum physics, meditation, yoga, technology, internet, computers, and of course, as mentioned, life extension and multiple health products. With me, and I believe his sons, he was deeply into Viggo Mortensen, and also into Denzel Washington, Liam Neeson, and of course, Jason Bourne. He once told me, and I believe others of us, that he had watched some Jason Bourne series 35 times. Think about that. With all the time that you just heard, having everybody on the phone every week and spending time, and he was able to somehow spend 35 sessions with Jason Bourne. And of course, as mentioned, he deeply and was into the Golden State Warriors, and particularly into David West on the Golden State Warriors. Every few games, he would text me, "I love David West." But without a doubt, in what he shared with us, there was one thing he was most deeply into, and that was his family. And for all the fathers and grandfathers who stand behind me here today, each and every one of us, I'm sure, believes in our hearts that we most admired and respected. What we saw in Tony, and in fact we're in awe of what Tony did for his family, his devotion to his family, his commitment to his family, his thoughtfulness about his family, through good and through bad. Well, I never had a biological brother of my own. Tony was my brother in every other way. And he was a brother for each and every one of us in our group. And so we are sorrowful and mourning his loss, and there's been little else that we have talked about since he left us. But we are also keenly aware of the gifts that you have heard about today and what he has given us in his generosity, in his spirit, and in his favorite mantra, which you have also heard, keep breathing. So, and I think Clyde might have something to say about that.
Together, both to mourn and to remember. Today we give our thanks for all you were, all we are. For we are stronger cause you held us, we are wiser cause you knew us. For whatever we shared with you, we are all richer by far. We remember a father, we recall how much you loved us, and we still can feel your kiss. As we mourn for having lost you, we remember when we met you. We mourn and we remember all the things that we will miss. We will miss you by the ocean, on the dance floor, at the ballpark. We'll miss all of those articles, at least the ones we read. I will miss the way you smiled when you spoke of your grandchildren, and I'll miss you when I think about these words you always said. Keep breathing. Take it easy, take your time. Keep breathing. And remember to be kind. Among the pain and sorrow, there is beauty to be found. Keep breathing.
Mary Beth and the family would love to invite everyone to stretch your legs and join us across the patio for refreshments and meet and chat, and if anyone has something special to say while you're there, we'll have an open mic set up in a while. But right now, let's sing together again. You'll pick up the chorus and men's group will help us get through this, okay? It's called Pack Up Your Sorrows. I know how to use